As you have seen through this, and we've seen the blowback that some Republicans in your caucus that are getting when they go back home to their districts, worried about these cuts or worried about what DOJ is doing, do you have concerns that that's anything that Democrats will be able to use to run against those Republicans?
No, because I don't. Because the videos you saw of the town halls were for paid protesters in many of those places. These are Democrats who went to the events early and filled up the seats. If the videos had panned outside the building, you can't argue
they were all paid protesters, though, Mr. Speaker.
Many of them were.
Democrats get caught paying off protesters in order to attend GOP town halls. Hakeem Jeffries claims that they are the ones that have curbed illegal immigration and not the Trump administration. And Director Patel of the FBI just threw the hammer down because of the failed first phase of the Epstein list. Now, guys, we got a lot of interesting topics today. If you guys appreciate the daily news updates, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. But let's go ahead and start off with House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and his response to the House Speaker. Check this out.
Just got back to the Capitol. Another day, another lie from these people who are out of control. I'm told that Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, and the extreme MAGA Republicans are claiming that Democrats are sending paid protesters into their town hall meetings. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? We don't need to send paid protesters into your town hall meetings. The American people are with us all across the country. People are rising up to push back against the assault on the economy, the assault on hard-working families, the assault on our democracy, and the assault on Medicaid. We don't need paid protesters, bro. The American people are with us.
So first of all, someone has to tell Obama from Wish.com that the Biden administration destroyed our economy. And it's no secret that the left-wing protesters get funding from some of the biggest names within the Democratic Party. That includes George Soros, Rockefeller, and Pritzker. It's also common knowledge that these far-left activists love attending these town halls. They love creating chaos as if they even know what they're talking about. And I believe CNN's Scott Jennings put it best when he said this. Watch.
Nobody loves going to a Republican town hall meeting like crazed liberal Democrat activists. I have no doubt they are their constituents, but these people are they hated Donald Trump before, they hate Donald Trump today, and they're professional complainers when it comes to Republicans. Look, I guess you could take any of these conversations seriously, and the way to handle it is to stand up there and calmly and clearly explain that we've inherited a mess. The American people have entrusted the Republican Party to get us out of the mess. It's going to take a lot of work to get us out of the mess. And here's what we're doing to do that. We're going to fix immigration. It's already happening. We're going to unleash American energy. That's going to be part of the reconciliation bill. You know, we're going to have more or less chaos in the world. And that's what Donald Trump's trying to do by negotiating an end to the war in Ukraine and get the Middle East under control. I mean, the Republican priorities are not complicated and they're very clear. But let me just tell you, having been to many of these town hall meetings over a 25-year career in politics, a lot of the people that show up at these things are there because they're committed partisan activists, not because they wandered in because they had some concern. I don't doubt that they are actual constituents, but if you think somebody that showed up with a hand-painted sign at a town hall meeting came in undecided, I got news for you. It just doesn't work that way.
And those are facts, guys. These activists aren't looking for dialogue. They don't want to debate. They're there to mess with these town hall meetings, and that's it. So no matter what is said, they're going to oppose it. There's no way you can reason out these types of people because they're blinded by hate. And the hate that they have for President Donald Trump has overlapped onto Elon Musk, a hate that they're spreading out into the federal workers who've been laid off. So here's the genius behind the Democratic Party and their goal of disruption. They actually invited these very same people to President Trump's joint session of Congress.
Democrats have a long list of the types of people that they're bringing: USAID, health workers, emergency management specialists serving veterans, active duty personnel, a disabled Army veteran at a Buffalo VA facility, so on and so forth. You're going to see a lot of veterans tomorrow night being invited by Democrats, and that's to send a very specific message, Alessia.
Oh, it's a very, very clear message, and it's the message that you've also been hearing in these town halls that GOP congressmen decided to shut down because they couldn't withstand the heat. This actually, what is happening to federal workers and the public service that they provide to all of us, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on, it shouldn't be a partisan issue. The fact that people are not only losing jobs and shifting their entire livelihoods, it's impacting the way that this country is run and the way that people are able to get aid, have opportunity. All of these things. It's impacting healthcare. It's also really interesting that you mentioned some of the people that are coming to the State of the Union tomorrow, particularly veterans. Republicans always talk about veterans and supporting our veterans and supporting our troops. But yet, here we are gutting the ability to actually even provide care. And so it is sending a strong message. I do hope Democrats do more with these workers.
So now they want to show that they care about our veterans. Someone has to remind Alencia Johnson that the Biden-Harris administration allowed New York officials to remove homeless veterans from hotels. Now, I'm pretty sure she was already aware, given that she worked for both Biden and Harris. But this was done in order to create space for illegal immigrants. So it's hypocritical that they would want to use veterans to make a point this time around. And they're not showing hypocrisy with just our veterans. They did the exact same thing with the U.S.-Mexico border. It only became an issue for them when voters showed a lot of concern. And so here's what Hakeem Jeffries had to say about what they've been doing as of late and how he's taking credit for the border that's now under control thanks to the Trump administration. Watch.
National security interests. Look, what we've seen from the Trump administration over the last several weeks is just a flood of unprecedented extremism and a parade of horribles that continue to be unleashed on the American people. While at the same time, the Trump administration is not focused on solving the problems of everyday Americans. We're continuing to make sure that we focus on trying to make life better for everyday Americans. Fundamentally, that's why we were sent to Washington, D.C. We have to drive down the high cost of living. We have to secure the border. We have to keep communities safe. We have to protect our dreamers and farm workers and families. These are the things that matter, as opposed to creating crisis-like moments when we should be coming together and demonstrating leadership for the free world.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, guys, so let's go step by step. He's talking about driving down the cost of living. Inflation was almost non-existent when President Trump left the White House. The high cost of living came from the Biden-Harris administration. They also kept the borders wide the heck open and allowed millions of illegal immigrants to come into our country. People that receive benefits over veterans. And now they want to keep these same individuals inside the United States, even though thousands of them are known criminals and are on terrorist watch lists. So I'm guessing that he hopes we forget about what they did for the last few years, but I really don't see that happening. He should also be happy to know that illegal border crossings have plunged to a level that hasn't been seen in at least 25 years. And the Trump administration got it done within a very short span of time. For context, illegal crossings for the month of December 2023 was around 250,000. Fast forward to January 2025, and that number is below 9,000. But sure, Democrats are doing their part to protect the borders, right? Anyway, moving on, FBI Director Kash Patel, he means business. The head of the FBI's New York field office just retired from the bureau. This comes after word got around that he resisted Justice Department efforts to scrutinize agents who participated in politically sensitive investigations. James Dennehy, he claims that he was given his retirement papers without a reason, citing that pressure from those at the top forced him to resign. Now, it's also alleged that Dennehy's office was hiding thousands of Epstein documents. We know for a fact that AG Pam Bondi was pissed about the initial phase of the Epstein list. So it's not surprising to see that the head of the New York field office of the FBI was removed. Now, Dennehy also pushed back against providing information regarding FBI agents who investigated January 6th. Now I'm hoping that investigations into the Epstein list will finally get back on track after this, as well as provide us with even more transparency when it comes to these issues. Now, here's my question for you guys. Do you think that the next phase of the Epstein list will be better than the first? Now, understand that we all have concerns when it comes to Social Security, with Democrats warning us that DOGE will cut off most of our benefits. But it looks like the opposite is happening, as recipients may get even more money as DOGE finds more savings. Now, I covered this in a previous live stream. You're definitely going to want to check that one out right after this one. As always, thank you for hitting the like button and for subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time.